dear friends, welcome back to my channel. Once again, a place where you can have the best quality materials, study materials for your UGC NET JRF English language and literature study goals. So I hope all of you are doing great in your personal as well as your academic life too, and I hope that you are following and you are subscribed to my channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe it now. And also, like you can see, today's topic is The Winter's Tale, and this is one of mature comedies, as well as it is termed as one of the best tragic comedies of Shakespeare, and Shakespeare composed this particular work towards the end of his literary or dramatic career. So without wasting time, let's move on. Before that, you can find me in these platforms, not only in YouTube. I have a website known as www.highpoint.in. there you will get ample study materials, comprehensible, simple and also well arranged, chronologically well arranged topics for your UGC NET JRF English language and literature goals. If you are seriously studying for UGC NET JRF English language and literature, then this is a place that you can visit my website, and you can have the free trial and demo materials and see what I have provided there. Even if you are studying your own, you can have a glimpse at what you have to learn, the topic, the subtopic that you have to cover to have your UGC NET. So don't forget to go and visit my website. The link is there in the description box. You can click it and go to it. And if you are interested to join a WhatsApp group in which I am sharing daily basis quiz question and also study cards and news and updates related to NTA UGC NET, then obviously you can WhatsApp me or call me in this number given on the screen. Or also you can go and visit the description box and click the link there and join it. And if you find any difficulty in joining the link, then you can directly message me in this given number. And my Instagram ID is right here. Ligi Maria 90 is my Instagram ID. You can follow me Instagram if you have an Instagram page there, because I am sharing daily basis study cards, daily quiz, and also small videos and reels related to English language and literature NTA UGC NET English language and literature. So don't forget to join, and don't forget to follow my Instagram ID if you are interested. And also remind you that for the next exam, I have already given a 15% off in each course that we are providing in my website. So you can go and check what we have there. So don't forget to do that. Don't waste your time by waiting for the next NTA UGC NET notification for the exam. So that's a waste of time. Even if you are determined to have your NET in 2022, then you should not waste your time. Go and have a look at my website, and if you want, you can join the course. So let's move on to the introduction to the play. It's a tragic comedy by William Shakespeare. So let me first of all give a little note about tragic comedy. So what is tragic comedy? It is a mix of tragic and comic elements. From the term itself, you can understand that. So in the first half or the beginning of the play, there will be many tragic events happening. And in the second part of the play, the particular play, everything will get resolved all of a sudden. Okay, that's how a tragic comedy will happen. It will have a tragic beginning, but towards the end, it will have a happy ending all of a sudden. So everything will get resolved, and people will reconcile with each other all of a sudden. Okay, that's kind of plays are known as tragic comedy, and Shakespeare was condemned and criticized by many for mixing this tragic and comic element in a play. So I hope that was clear. And it was possibly written in 1610 or 1611 and published in the first folio of 1623. So some critics group it as a problem play or Shakespeare's late romances. The main plot of the play is taken from Robert Greene's pastoral romance Pandosto, which was published in 1588. So the main plot of this play for The Winter's Tale is taken from, so that is the major source. What is the source? Robert Greene's pastoral romance Pandosto. The most distinctive feature of the play is there is a 16-year gap between the third and the fourth act. So this is a distinct kind of particular feature of this play, that there is a 16-year gap between the third and fourth acts. Okay, so that is a distinctive feature of this play. So moving on, let's have the character list of the play then. Leonatus, king of Sicilia. So the major action is happening in Sicilia, okay, remember that. Leonatus, king of Sicilia, Mamelius, young prince of Sicilia, Camillo, Antigonus, Cleomenes and Dion, these are 4 lords of Sicilia. Then Polixenes, king of Bohemia, Florizel, prince of Bohemia, Archidamus, the lord of Bohemia, Lord Shepherd, reputed father of Perdita, then Clown, old shepherd's son, Autolycus, a rogue, a mariner, a gaoler, Hermione, queen of Leonatus, Perdita, daughter to Leonatus and Hermione. Then Paulina, wife of Antigonus, Emilia, a lady attending Hermione, Mopsa and Dorcas, shepherdesses. So these are the major characters. At least remember the important characters. Pause the video and take down the names of important characters. So that will be help you to remember things better. So we will have detailed act wise and scene wise summary. So I will move little bit fast. I won't be explaining every other point like I do earlier, because that will create the length of this video immensely huge, so I don't want that. Okay, let's begin. Act 1, Scene 1. The play opens in Sicily, where in Leonatus' palace, Camillo and Archidamus meets and discuss about the hospitality given to the king of Bohemia and about the young prince Mamelius. So, Polixenes is the king of Bohemia, and Bohemian king Polixenes is there as a guest in Leonatus' palace, and they are discussing, the lords and Leonatus, they were discussing about the hospitality given to king of Bohemia when the story opens or exposes, the act of exposes. Act 1, Scene 2. All the important characters are present in this scene, and Polixenes says that he is there with Leonatus for a period of time now and he has to leave, but Leonatus presses him to stay more, but he agrees to stay when Hermione pleases to stay. See, Hermione is there as wife of Leonatus, and Polixenes, he said that, see Leonatus, I am here for a for a period of time now. I have to go back to Bohemia. But Leonatus presses him that you have to stay a little more with me and enjoy the time being together. So, but he disagrees. But he was persuaded by Hermione, just as Leonatus was doing in the presence of Leonatus only. But when she pressed Polixenes, he agreed to stay. This actually creates a doubt within the mind of Leonatus, because he is, even though he is a king, he is an insecure man. He actually doubts, and he has his own insecurities about his wife. Maybe he is cheating and all. He never actually clears his doubts by doing something, by doing some research, by having a clear mind and or thinking in a clear mind. He just believes after when Polixenes agrees to stay, when Hermione also pressed him to stay, just as Leonatus. Okay, this strikes Leonatus and jealousy developed in him. See, because of his insecurity, jealousy develops, and he began to add more meanings to the warm friendship between his wife and friends. So the seed of jealousy began to grow. You will find that everything is adding to that jealousy to flourish. Okay, so he was adding more dimensions and more meanings to the just friendship between his wife and his friend Polixenes. He believes that he was cheated and he was left alone. He talks strangely to Mamelius, his son. So Mamelius is his son. So when he was alone, he talks very strange to the very young son that he has, Mamlius. And Leonatus orders Camillio to poison Polixenes, but Camillio tried his best to bring him back to reason, but he failed. So Leonatus, out of jealousy, out of his burning jealousy, what he tried to do, he tried to poison Polixenes through Camillio, but Camillio is a good lord to Leonatus. As a good intended lord, he advises Leonatus not to do such anything, but he was failed because jealousy was so grown in his mind. And Camillio went to Polixenes and asked him to steal away from there and save his life, and he accompanied the king. See, Camillio knew that he failed to bring back Leonatus into reason, so he will commit this thing, poisoning Polixenes, if not through Camillio, but he will use some other way. So Camillio immediately went to Polixenes and asked him to go away secretly from that place because your life is in danger, and he cannot stay there when he actually revealed the plan of Leonatus to Polixenes. So he accompanied the king to his country, Bohemia. So there ends Act 1. Now begins Act 2, Scene 1. The fight of Camillio and Polixenes made Leonatus to believe that there is a plot against his life and crown. So the act of Camillio also made Leonatus to believe that, see, everybody is sided with Polixenes, and he got cuckolded by his wife. So, there is a threat. He believed that there is a threat against his life and crown. He also believes that the child Hermione is about to bear Polixenes' child. So Hermione is already pregnant. So he also believed that, see, to the extent that man can go in jealousy. See, Leonatus believed that the child that is there inside the belly of Hermione that she is about to bear is Polixenes' child. That's why when she pressed him to stay, he stayed. So she received with his jealousy, and she was sent to the prison for her utmost shock. So she had no idea what is going on with Leonatus and his jealous mind. So she was received with jealousy by him, and she saw the burning jealousy, and for her shock she was imprisoned. She is the queen and she was imprisoned. So Act 2, Scene 2 then comes. Paulina comes and frankly displayed her implicit faith in Hermione's chastity and openly condemns the king. So Paulina is a good friend to Hermione, and Paulina comes directly to Leonatus, and she vouched for Hermione's chastity openly, and also directly on the face of the king she condemned him. But he was not convinced. All these acts actually fell upon a deaf ear, and he was not moved. Act 2, Scene 3. Leonatus was disturbed by thinking that Polixenes has escaped from his reach. So he cannot bear the thought that, see, he could not poison Polixenes, and took his revenge upon him. And Paulina comes with Leonatus' newborn baby daughter, and she failed to persuade him and ordered to kill it. So Hermione gave birth to a baby girl in the prison, and Paulina comes with that baby girl to show Leonatus the face of this innocent baby, and she failed to persuade him again. And over to that, Leonatus also asked or ordered to kill that baby at once. But later he was persuaded by his courtiers, he allowed it to live. So every other person except Leonatus were sure of the chastity and innocence of Hermione and the baby. So it was only Leonatus was doubtful about it, because Leonatus has his own insecurities. His courtiers and lords persuaded that let the baby live. Okay, the baby is an innocent creature, so it is not a threat to you. So he finally allows it to live. Act 3 in Scene 1 and 2, Hermione's trial scene in the court of Leonatus. So in Act 3 we can see Hermione's trial scene. in the court of Leonardus, the crimes alleged to her were quite unimaginable for her. So she had no idea, and it was quite an unimaginable crimes alleged to her upon her. She could not respond. She doesn't know how to respond to all these crimes alleged to her. So the oracle from Apollo was opened and read it. So it was like she is not guilty. Okay, so Apollo's oracles were cold. It was like that. Okay, now if the guilty person is not ready to admit that he or she is guilty, then oracle from the god will be called, and it was opened and read loudly. And in that oracle from Apollo, it was clearly said that she is innocent. And even then, Leonardus was angry with the oracle, and suddenly a servant announces the death of Mamilius. So Mamilius was also so small. He could not, he cannot bear, or he could not bear the distance from her, from his mother in such an innocent innocent age, and he was actually struck by this whole incident, turned upside down, and Mamilius was died. So a servant comes and announces the death of Mamilius, and Hermione falls fainting, and Leonardus repents, asks the ladies to attend on her. So Hermione, after hearing the death of her son, she faints, and Leonardus repents what he did actually, and asks the lady to attend her. And Paulina enters with the news of death of Hermione. Paulina, here she comes and announces the death of Hermione, and Leonardus could not forgive himself. Now he feels guilty about the acts that he committed. There ends scene 2nd of Act 3. Now Act 3 scene 3rd begins. Antigonus in a remote desert of Bohemia with Hermione's child. So it's like this child was advised by some person known as Antigonus to fetch it somewhere and leave it somewhere in a deserted place. So if there is a chance to live for this baby, it will live, otherwise it will die. He saw a dream last night in which she pleads him to abandon the child there and name it as Perdita. So Antigonus, in the previous night, he saw a dream in which Hermione pleads to him to abandon the child in somewhere in the desert of Bohemia and name her as Perdita. So he does so, and after leaving this baby, a horrible storm follows there, and the child was rescued by a shepherd and his son. They took it to their hut. So the child's fate was not end there. So a shepherd found this baby of Hermione, and they took it to their hut. And now Act 4 begins now. Scene 1. A chorus appears and announces the lapse of years between 3rd act and 4th act. So this was actually, I told in the introductory section, that between Act 3 and Act 4, a lapse of time period is there. Actually 16 years passed after the 3rd act when 4th act begins. Now Polixenus' son Florizel and Perdita, these two people are young. And in Act 4 scene 2nd, Camillo is asking permission to go to his native country Sicily. See, Camillo is with Polixenus when he came with Polixenus when Polixenus' life was threatened. And Camillo, now after 16 years, he wanted to go back to his native country Sicily. Now Polixenus says to Camillo that his son Florizel is continuously absent from the court, and he suspects that he is in love with a shepherd girl. Okay, now Polixenus says to Camillo that his son Florizel must be there present in court every day to know about the court affairs and all, but he is continuously absent. This arises a kind of suspect in his mind that Polixenus believes that Florizel is in love with some shepherd girl. That's why he is going to meet her to her. So that's why he is absent from the court continuously. So they decide to follow him and know one day. Act 4 scene 3 begins next. Meeting between Autolycus and the clown, son of the shepherd. So here this is a light scene that will create a light mood and create a laughter there. So after all these horrible things happened, now the play is going to turn as a comedy. Act 4, Scene 4, a passionate scene between Florizel and Perdita. See, like suspected by Polixenes, Florizel is in love with a shepherd girl known as Perdita, and a passionate scene we can see in Scene 4 of Act 4. Florizel is disguised as a shepherd to be with Perdita. So Perdita doesn't know that Florizel is an eminent person. He is the son of the king of Bohemia. Florizel is disguised and dressed as a shepherd to be matched with Perdita and to move freely with Perdita, okay, without making a suspicion. Polixenes and Camilla enter into their place also disguised as shepherds, and the celebration is going on for the guests. So Polixenes and Camillo came there, and they arranged a celebration for them, and Polixenes thinks that Perdita is too beautiful for a shepherd and asks about her to the old shepherd. So by seeing Perdita, Polixenes, he cannot remember anything, but Polixenes believed that Perdita is too beautiful. Her beauty is not the beauty of a shepherd girl. She is something else. So he suspects and he asked about her to the old shepherd, and the prince proposes Perdita. So Polixenes and Camillo, they are present there. In their presence, without asking them, and Florizel doesn't know that this is Polixenes and Camillo. The guests are, Polixenes and Camillo. So the prince proposes Perdita there, and the king gets enraged with it, and he calls the shepherd a traitor and his daughter a witch. Okay, so Polixenes now cannot, tolerate this. So when the prince Florizel proposed to Perdita, he actually showed his true identity, and he got enraged with it, and he calls the shepherd a traitor and his daughter a witch. And Camillo comes for the help of the lovers and asks Florizel to go to the court of Leonatus along with the Perdita with him. So now Camillo knows what he needs to do. So he comes to rescue the lovers Florizel and Perdita, and asks them to go to the court of Leonatus along with the Perdita with him. So there, with that note, Act 4 ends. Now comes Act 5, Scene 1. In Sicily, Leonatus lives in regret with his past deeds. So Leonatus is still guilty and regretful about his past deeds. He was so thoughtless when he was acting against Polixenes, or he was acting against Camillo, or he was acting against his own family, his wife and son. Okay. So a servant announces the arrival of Florizel and Perdita. So when he was brooding over his past life, he got the news that Florizel and Perdita arrived there in the court. And Florizel said that he was sent to Sicily by his father to greet him with the daughter of Samulus, king of Libya, who is his wife. So he actually told a lie here. Florizel is of course the son of Bohemian king Polixenes, but still Florizel was not sent by him, right, to the court of Sicily. So Florizel said that he was sent to Sicily by his father to greet him there, and the daughter with his wife, who is the daughter of Samulus, king of Libya. And Polixenes ordered the arrest of the lovers, and they reveals everything to Leonatus. So after a certain point of time, Polixenes ordered the arrest of the lovers, and they revealed everything to Leonatus. So Leonatus now knows everything with Florizel and Perdita, but he doesn't know that Perdita is his own baby, his own daughter that he actually ordered to kill once back in his life. Act 5, Scene 2. Autolycus was brought to the scene to reveal the true identity of Perdita. So even then Leonatus had some doubts when he saw Perdita, and Autolycus was the one who was asked to leave this baby in some deserted place. So Autolycus was brought back to the scene to reveal and to know about the baby that he left there in the desert, and Autolycus revealed everything to the true identity of Perdita. Now Perdita and Florizel are truly betrothed now. So now Leonatus knew that Perdita is his own daughter, and he even approved, and this actually poured some sort of easiness, or it was an ameliorative thing for it actually reduced the pain and guilt in his mind, and he allowed the betrothal between Perdita and Florizel. And Perdita has been told of the existence of a statue of her mother. So Perdita also believed that her mother is dead now, she is no more. She died soon after giving birth her in a situation that was not favorable, and her brother Mamilius also dead. So Perdita was informed after the betrothal that a statue of her mother was built there, and the revealing of the statue is the climax of the play. Act 5, Scene 3. Everyone is present in Paulina's house. So the statue is built there in Paulina's house. So the revealing of this statue by whom? By Leonatus is the climax of the play. The statue is revealed and everyone is amazed by seeing the lifelike nature of it. So this statue was revealed by Leonatus, and by seeing that statue, everyone got amazed and wondered about the life, full of life that the statue possesses. As Leonatus is about to kiss the statue began to speak and move and embraced her husband. So the Leonatus was full of regret and guilt, and he was regretted about that he cannot reverse anything that he has done already, right? So Leonatus was about to kiss the statue, and as he was approaching, the statue began to move and speak and embraced her husband, and thus a happy ending. So this is how a tragic comedy will happen. See, horrible things will happen in the first half of the play, then later everything will unraveled, and everything will be turned all of a sudden, and the tragic mood will turn into a happy mood, a comic mood all of a sudden. People will reconcile with each other so suddenly. Everything will turn into a happy event so suddenly. So in tragic comedy, mainly the progress of action will happen in this way. In Tempest also you can see such a change of actions from the first part to the second part of the play. Now, moving on, let's see some themes that we can find in this play: loyalty, fidelity and honesty, friendship and love, youth, age and time, seriousness, levity and humor, evidence, truth, persuasion and belief, and justice and justice and natural order. So these are the major themes and major topics that we can see Shakespeare put forwarded in this play through the characters. So A Winter's Tale is a tragic comedy, and please remember the one point that is particular about this play, that between the third act and fourth act there is a 16 years of gap. So that is particular about this play. And that's all about this play. So you have to mention in the comment section about the major takeaway that you have from this video, what the major points or the characters or the events happening or themes inside the play. So that's all about it. I hope this was useful for you, your UGC NET preparations about Shakespeare. And visit me in these platforms. Visit me in my website www.highpoint.in to have a comprehensible, simple and kind of well arranged set of study materials for UGC NET JRF English Language and Literature. And also, if you want to join the WhatsApp group that I mentioned earlier, you can go and visit the description box and the link is there. If it is not working, or if you wanted to call me or WhatsApp me, you can do that in this number given on the screen, because I'll be glad to share the link directly to you personally, and also details about the courses also. If you want to know more, you can message me in this number as well. So I have also an Instagram page. You can follow me on Instagram. My ID is right here, ligiumaria90. You can follow me there for have a daily basis touch to literature. If you are a literature student, English language and literature student, or if you are an aspirant of the same, then you can follow me. You can have free study materials there, and also you can message me in Instagram as well. So that's all about it. Meet you in the next video session. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please guys subscribe to my channel, and also if you like this video, press the like button as well. While you subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon too, so that you get notifications about my newly uploaded videos. So that's all about it. Meet you in the next video session. Until then, bye bye, and stay tuned to my channel, and happy learning guys. Thank you.